Hello, dudes. Thanks for giving Dude Neil another listen. I had a significant enlightenment during meditation the other day. So, another toe video, this one being number 4, which puts me up there with Douglas Adams. And I'm okay with that. In fact, maybe I should have entitled this one So Long and Thanks for All the Fish, huh? Let's start the universe destruction here each night. Played out for your enjoyment. Boom! Anyway, this is number 4 in my series, and this enlightenment will firmly tag Dude Neil as a pragmatist, which is breaking news. And I'll start with the root of our being, the very root. What is really going on beyond and within this illusion we call life? Remember what Groucho Marx said about reality, don't you? I don't believe in reality, but it's still the best place to get a good meal. Well, it starts with the root of our being. We start by understanding that our body, our very body, is a root. It taps into the frequency-created data, or quantum stream, as we're calling it these days, exactly like a plant's root on a creek. The stream is created by our electrons, electrical energy. From that stream, we share images with other magnetically bonded electrons and call those images reality. Our illusionary brain turns them into words and they become solid concepts. This is how thoughts become reality, manifest. But those images are all representations of the electron's actual spatial existence in Tao. Logically, what we call reality isn't so, and ego can't make it so, regardless of how firmly Picard keeps telling us to make it so. Bite me, Picard. Let's examine the root's other end, the flower. Dude Neil is familiar with flowers, so I'll say that our brain serves that purpose. Its function is to pollinate our illusion with possibilities and create storylines from those possibilities. This flower immediately creates a root, and we are born. Again, most likely. For our electron, the story we call life vanishes from existence with what we call death. That's why he's making an appearance in my video. Right? Within the universe. While our illusion vanishes, taking this universe with it, remaining electrons must remove us. So they create what we call a funeral. But that's only happening to them. By vanishing, our story is inconsequential to Tao. So the fractal pattern of time remains intact. It didn't happen. And that becomes important. Our brain, remember, is an icon for consciousness. It is where our experience is observed. It handles the nutritious quantum data and excretes a sense of self. That self is academically referred to by us as id, ego, and superego. Attitude fragrances our self with personal style, and that then feels like a skin. However, skin changes every 7 years, so attitude should also. If we don't incorporate what has been experienced in that amount of time, then we become inauthentic or hypocritical, and our ego doesn't like that. Our skin begins to feel uncomfortable, and the Vulcan cycle demands reckoning. Why is this? Because life itself upsets the fractal nature of time. There can be no chaos in a fractal weave, so the chaos must end for time to not time or what time produces, which is the yin-yang, to not ripple out into Tao. If yin-yang affects Tao, then Tao is no longer a peaceful realm. So, Tao does not respond to the void of our disappearance because there is no void. Our passing leaves no trace of having happened. Remember the Star Trek episode where Picard experienced an alternate reality? Of course you don't, because you became conscious after the 1990s. He was removed from Enterprise by aliens and lived a simple family life. When he dies, Picard is reunited with the Enterprise. So that life was an illusion, but he retained from it a flute. In the same way, our frequency retains images. Whenever we rejoin that frequency, we again access the data stream and those images. They feel familiar, like the memories a song can bring up. This is represented by the cloud. So we needed a representation for this, and therefore created the cloud. That's why history feels real to us. It has occurred, but it's not contiguous. If we include time as fluid, then it is all likely happening at once even, live from New York or wherever the hell you happen to be. And that's where the fractal nature of time becomes evident. Let me ask you a question. How can an electron be everywhere, all at once, and yet have a discrete experience unknown from Tao, unknown to Tao? It is easy if the electron is only in one place and reflected or refracted, as the case may be, throughout the fractal pattern. Sherlock Holmes informed us that the easiest explanation is often correct, so it likely goes with our electron, and that's why fractals are inherently beautiful to almost all humans. Our body then becomes the root problem for order, so discarding it is the solution, and therefore we die. As for the lesson of our time, it would be that all actions are insignificant. Therefore, pragmatism, not determinism, is of greatest quality, as Zen and the Art of Motorcycle Maintenance put it. Be flexible, like the tender reed. That's a reference to a song called The Rose, again from the 1980s. And do what feels best for each challenge. In that way, we respect Wu Wei. Act from a peaceful intention, and peaceful decisions will be easier to make. Anxiety, neurosis, and some psychoses fall away because there's no need for them to exist. Probably weren't created in the first place. The moments will be served, and like life itself, the moments will vanish. We'll let them go. So fear not our physical, political, moral, and ethical predicaments. They are of no significance. None of them will hurt you unless provoked. Have faith in Zen, folks, and remain peaceful. Maybe not painless, but pain is the commonality in history, not the exception. So peaceful will have to suffice. And of that, Dude Neil feels your dissatisfaction. So let pragmatism guide us. Extreme action will cause overreactions, which beget harsher responses. So negative energy simply increases. That feeds ego, which belches out more tribal desires. In fact, maybe that's how we know when we're operating from ego. That reminds me to ask you to like and subscribe. I welcome comments, but not contradictory propaganda. That I will delete. It's my channel, so my propaganda. Get your own channel for me to ignore. Dude Neil feels that's, well, pragmatic, to coin a word. And that will close what I hope is my final thesis on the matter of my theory of everything. Get it? Electrons make up matter, so in our illusion, so it's a pun. Dude Neil is empathetic to your disdain about puns, but my brain now hurts. So, since I don't like cliches or breaking copyrights if they exist, I leave you dudes with peace and wellness instead of, well, you know.